Hey, Brandon, and hello, and welcome to the 7th episode. I believe we're on the 7th episode. We just had a fantastic little pre-session there that lasted
I
about
was just gonna
2
comment
hours,
on
and it
that.
fucking almost made me want to insert inappropriate joke here about blowing my brains out.
Okay,
But
whoa.
now we're ready. We're ready. How's it going, Brandon? I
Damn.
love you.
That was the darkest thing I think we've ever had on this fucking podcast so far.
Oh, I guess it's not super kosher to be making those kind of jokes these days.
Well, I mean, whatever. Cancel culture's out there to get us. That's our goal, right?
That's our goal. Remember, that's the whole game plan. That's what South Park did unintentionally. They started out being bad. So when people started worrying about bad stuff, they couldn't cancel because they always were bad. That's they're immune to cancel culture. So that should be an aim of ours. Be as bad as possible, and then there's no way we can be worse. So
We're just expected of it.
Yeah, it's great. And anything we do that's not as bad as what we did before is an improvement. We're getting better. We just start at the bottom, so we have a longer way to climb up top. Makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
I like it too.
Interesting.
I sell business plans. If anybody wants to contact me privately, I consult business plans. So that was just a sample of one of my really great ideas. Start at the bottom, literally tank your company to where it's worth nothing, so that everything is super cheap, and then build it up. Then you're good to go. See, I'm a professional.
I'm not. Buy his ideas, guys.
Buy them.
Buy them. They're great. They're totally 10 out of 10 would be successful. Yeah,
Anyways,
so successful. This is a great tangent we're going on, and then halfway through our intro.
Episode 7. We've officially passed the first half of our first dozen. How does it feel? That's a very significant achievement milestone.
I mean, the way you put it was very convoluted, but I like it. We are there. Halfway to the... Yeah, I like that.
We passed the halfway mark of our first dozen of episodes. We're making it. We're on our way.
I know some of our regular viewers absolutely love it, so it's been a good time. We have stupid conversations. When I go and edit the audio in this, we are absolutely retarded, but it's hilarious.
We are. I've watched a bunch of our recordings, and I think we're pretty funny. Yeah. Well, as per, it's not really a consistent tradition, but cheers.
It's not consistent. I don't even have beer, but I'll cheers you with that. Surprise!
Oh, okay. Here. Oh, cheers.
Okay, I'm curious. Is that just dark rum, or is that?
Yeah, it's dark rum neat. It's dark rum neat. Cheers. Oh, I need to drink, right?
Wow. We're already off to a terrible start.
So, someone actually informed me what neat was the other day. I was a bartender. I managed a bar for a year and a half. And I never knew what a neat drink was, because nobody ever orders a neat drink.
I do.
You order a neat drink, like, why not just bring a flask in your pocket and go sip in the bathroom? Like, order something that's gonna, like, who fucking orders neat, man? Why would you order neat? That's like, literally, they're just pouring the liquor bottle into your glass.
Yeah, order neat, and then you put, like a drop, like a pinky nail drop of water in it. And it's, like, delicious.
That does something? You don't just...
Yes. Yeah.
It
almost like it tones the burn down to appreciate the taste more. I'm curious as to what you're doing now. Are you trying this? He's gonna try it on camera. For all you listeners, he is just
So, that's supposed to
now mix it with your pinky.
What? You're supposed to stir it? What? I wasn't part. I would have got a stick or something.
It's a joke.
I'll do
fucking shows. It's yeah. That's what normal people do. They swirl their drink, right? We're connoisseurs now of apparently dark rum over here, with the little splash of water in it that he added with his finger.
Brandon, you've just expanded the horizons of my palate. You have no idea what that did to my drink. Oh my god, that's the best kind of mix in the world. It's cheap, it's simple, it's fun. Nobody believes you, so it's almost like a magic trick, and it tastes so much better. You're right. That single drop of water really enhanced the flavor of my drink. Thank you, Brandon.
So,
DM Brandon for more tips on making your drinks better, but they all cost money. This is a great sample.
it was the stupidest, most sarcastic thing I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, no, it made no difference whatsoever.
That's because you usually do it in high-end fucking scotches.
High-end scotches. Okay.
That's
See,
why...
no, this is why he leaves that kind of info until after, right? So
This is why just ice works great, because it just cools it down.
that's the more common form of what people ask for. They expect ice.
On the rocks.
I've had people order shit with no ice, but it's always with mix. It's like vodka and 7-Up with no ice or
You need
or some
ice
shit.
with that, I think.
They always order it in small, short glasses. So they just want, it's like a flavorful shot, basically. Instead of a shot glass, they get like a beer glass, small beer glass.
Small beer glass.
But that was the major seller. People didn't want full-on glasses like you get at a restaurant with pop and 1 ounce of booze in it. Because they, quote-unquote, if they wanted to order a pop, they would have ordered a pop. So they found their happy middle. It was a niche at the bar I worked in, maybe. But nobody ever ordered neat nothing. It was on the rocks or it was mixed. Or it was beer.
Or is beer. beer is a solid way to go. I absolutely fucking love beer, so...
I love beer too.
You know, you're a piss drinker. I'm a craft beer fucking whore.
No.
I'm not a douchebag about it, but I love craft
you
beer.
You just called me a piss drinker. I'm not a douchebag, but this is your piss drinker. Fuck off. I will enjoy any beer. See, I'm truly cultured and I appreciate all beers. You know, I have my preference. I have my go-tos, but I don't have a favorite.
See,
They're all
so
really
in
good.
his perspective, it all tastes the same.
Very similar until you start moving up from like, you know, a can of beer like Budweiser or Coors or Kokanee to, you know, like this weird $6 IPA that was locally brewed. Like, there's a
Represent Bernie Brewing Company, yay!
See, more sponsorships, you know.
Yo, Bernie, I'm like an hour away. I'll come hit you guys up for a sponsor.
Hey, you know, one day when we're actually up for sponsorship, we got to hit up some alcohol companies and say, hey, you know, we're really popular. We love to drink. We're like, we drink on stream, and we will exclusively drink your beverage if you sponsor us. Like that would be the approach. Be pretty cool. We get a lot of free product.
Exclusive beer sponsorships.
Well, you can only have one exclusive sponsorship.
Yo, somebody hit us up and just give us free alcohol.
We'll put it to good use. It won't go to waste. And it won't be resold. We're not here to scam anybody.
Why would I ever resell free alcohol?
Because it's free.
Exactly my point. It's free. It tastes better.
Have you ever found a crappy hole-in-the-wall gas station or side stand or not so legal business that, you know, you're not supposed to crack open 8 packs of beer, but they sell them singly, or single cigarettes or burn CDs, and they just have that shit like a really shady gas station?
Sounds like you watch too much TV.
What, you never see? I've seen one. They sold single cigarettes in a handwritten cardboard box at the till, and they sold single beers. Like, this beer has the 8-pack thing on it, and they sold single beers that they just busted out of packs. So not for resale, right on the can.
I could see that happening.
I've seen it once.
But no.
That was on the way here. It was in Saskatchewan. I haven't seen anything here. I never saw anything back home.
Of course it's in Saskatchewan. Are we surprised about this? It's a flat
So
land.
you've never seen anything like that, eh? No.
I can, but like I can still go to my local barbershop and ask for a beer and they will bring me a beer. Even
we have a hair salon, barbershop, like it's a big place, but they do that. Like they come up with a tray of drinks and you can order and you can watch TV and they pamper you and it's expensive as haircut. I went once just to try it and it was all right.
$25.
But yeah, I don't know, maybe 35, 40 here with the drink and all that, right?
But free drinks and pool.
Yeah, no, you buy your drink.
They got a pool table.
You buy your drink. Okay, that seems a little redundant. The pool table in a hair salon or a barbershop.
Not when you're waiting. Maybe they're late. Maybe there's two people and they have an appointment, or they're two walk-ins, or their appointment.
Have to be really fucking casual.
Yeah, well, that's what a barbershop is, though. It's casual. You can go and hang out. I've seen people sit in a barbershop and bullshit with the fucking barbers before.
Sure, I believe it. I've seen that in Cranbrook. I've had that happen in Cranbrook. They bullshit with the barber when they're cutting my hair when I was a kid.
Fucking playing pool and stuff like that. Absolutely.
No, I never ever. I don't have a barbershop that I go to here. I usually just go in for a walk-in or get the fastest haircut. I always tell the hairdresser to just, hey, what do you think looks good on me? And I get them to do whatever the fuck they want. Usually what happens.
I really want to cut that with some really hard Korean anime music. The whole face thing you just did there.
Don't do that. Oh.
It'd be hilarious. But yeah, no, they do it. They in this town, there's barbers you can get beers and stuff from like nothing.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. Badass. Yeah, if you ever owned my own barbershop, I'd have a mini fridge of beers. Any regular customers? Yeah, fuck yeah. I cut your hair.
You want a beer, bud?
You know how that's, even if it's not your goal, that's a fantastic way to garner tips, let alone reputation.
Reputation. Yeah, man, I go and bullshit, have a great conversation, and drink a beer while I'm at it, and then my haircut's done. Like, it's not a loss. $25 later? Sure.
I wonder what the getter, like, it doesn't sound that it would be too hard to get a liquor license and do that, above board.
Well,
but
I don't know
maybe you got to be a restaurant. If you got to do that, just have a mini fridge and sell muffins and cookies and shit out of the same fridge. Then you're a restaurant.
Well,
I don't know. I'd have to look into the actual, code of the city and the rules. But.
Yeah, you need a liquor license to do it, and most of it's not actually like legal. Just nobody's gonna say anything about it, right? And I mean,
yeah.
I know in BC, anyways, there's only a limited amount of liquor licenses handed out, and you have to actually resell your liquor licenses and stuff like that because there's a max amount every year that they sell.
I didn't know that. Because I was trying to get one.
That would make a difference. Yeah. I didn't know that until I was talking to somebody. I think it was one of the bar owners years ago with my dad, and that's how they explained it to us. Which is really, really interesting. Especially
it sounds like the makings of a monopoly.
Well, it's weird because all of the different licenses are rated for different times as well. Like, for example, Denny's has one from like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. type of a thing. Whereas some are only good from 2 till 11 or 2 to 2. So it's really weird. Yeah.
Very interesting. Sounds like a pain in the butt.
Probably. I'm not ever going to own a bar.
If you got a successful bar, make some money, man. That was my dream goal for several years, was to own a bar in Japan, a Canadian-themed bar in Japan. That was the whole gimmick.
Yo, hoser.
It'd be a half.
And Canadian it'd be flags and red and white.
Yeah, it would be half restaurant. We'd have poutine and grilled cheese sandwiches and shit. Fuck it, it'd be great. That'd been my goal for a little while. If that ever happens, if I ever, make some money, build up a nest egg, 50 grand, 100 grand, or someone's willing to loan it to me, that's gonna happen. I'm dropping everything and going to do it.
I don't think that's enough money to start up.
To start? That's all I need to loan and lease everything I need. I don't need to buy everything outright. I'm not buying the land. I'm not buying the restaurant. I'll lease one, or I'll get one built and pay it over time.
I guess it's plausible, but I think
start up. Yeah, you absolutely don't need more than that to start up.
I think you would.
You put yourself into a lot of debt.
Yeah.
Again, with leases and loans and contracts, but you don't need to outright buy things, so you don't need that much startup capital. But you do need a plan. You need a financial plan, or no one will, let you in on those leases or or contracts. But I don't think you need the actual physical cash.
No, but then if you want to get into the monopolized system that is
You need
money, then
credit.
you have to go to a bank and get yourself in deep debt just to get yourself deeper in debt to make more money to get deeper in debt
Yeah,
because
well,
it's a flawed
it's the goal
system
is to one
and
day turn it around. Credit's important. I guess I can be focused on
I
credit
I hate the
until I
idea of
have the
credit.
money to start.
I wish credit never existed. Credit is the stupidest thing ever invented by man. You need it, and that's the worst part of it all, is you need it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's essential. I think it's
It is,
smart. I think it
absolutely.
helps. I like it. I enjoy it. I think it's valid and it should be a thing.
No,
I don't.
because the way I
It
go
it
about
it
it, it
doesn't need to
ruins
be
most
as
people's lives.
yeah. I'll follow up with saying, touching on my earlier thoughts of capitalism, economic values, is that it should be coupled with a lot more education. People should know more about it, not just be able to go into a bank and get $1,000 credit card without really reading anything and just signing their name.
That's fucking what I
Um,
did when I turned 19 when I'm eligible for credit card. I walked into a
yeah,
bank and they gave me 2 credit cards. And they're like,
yeah, because
here's the
it's a
limits.
business. So credit
Really?
in its of itself, I think, is very fundamental good in a win-win kind of system, but it's being used for profit a little bit inappropriately, taking advantage of those who either are unfortunate in whatever way, mentally, intellectually, physically. Maybe they got whatever happening going on, right? They don't know for some reason how the bank works. They're not an accountant. They're not a bank employee. They didn't go to school for it. They don't know dick all, so they're being taken advantage of. I think education can always play a bigger role
You're absolutely
in
right about that.
capitalism.
You're
I'm a
100%
big
right about that.
capitalist, and I think credit and banks, and yeah, they're the big bad guys, 1%, blah blah blah. But I think we can still have everything. Just need to have a little bit more well-rounded, educated consumer and general public. So then
But
it would be more fair. That's how you'd fair things up.
but you know what's worse than credit though? When it comes to that entrapment where you just not smart enough to know the system? Payday cash loan places. The people who will
Oh,
loan you
those are
payday
disgusting.
advances. Because you get trapped in this loop where you pay interest on what you owe, so then your full paycheck goes back into the business, and then you have to loan the money to keep afloat, and then the rest of your next paycheck goes back, and then it just turns into this unforgivable loop that you just literally cannot get out of.
Yeah, it's very very tough. It was tough for me. Fuck, I purposely spent a little bit too much money because I said YOLO when I probably shouldn't have, and learned firsthand how difficult that kind of loop is to get out of. And I barely, dip my toe in compared to some people.
Yeah, some people are in there for years and owe tons of money and have to use it to pay their money back and shit like that, and it's
Well,
horrible.
people die in debt, man. It's a lifelong loop. That's why it's such a good business model in terms of business, not morally, maybe ethically, it's a little bankrupt, but financially, it's genius.
Yeah, for the fucking
But you're
guys on the top of
playing
the
and
pyramid.
you're preying and relying on the dumbness of people in general public and your fellow dude, your fellow countryman. It's a little bit inappropriate. I think it could be just as successful not taking advantage of people, but providing them a service that's actually needed and will benefit everybody, not just be so much of a succubus.
Yes, 100%. It's and it's a hard one to get into because there are benefits to it. Like you can go down and you can go fucking like you can go to an errands and rent to own a fucking TV if you're absolutely broke, have no TV and you need a TV. TVs are pretty close to essential at this point, and they cost a lot of money a lot of times for a decent one.
Yeah.
So you can go for $50 a month, you can loan it. But then the only issue is then you're paying fucking that TV could be worth $2,000. You're paying an extra $1,000 on top of that in interest.
Yep. Um,
I mean, it's good and it's bad because it does actually help people out, but then in the long run, they're paying more money, and it hurts that more that way.
yeah. And that, like that in itself, interest and yada yada, isn't I don't think inherently evil or gouging or the dark roots of capitalism or business. I think it's again people's misunderstanding of it. A lot of people will again try and get out of it on purpose rather than just misunderstand it. So it's there as a kind of safeguard, in a sense. But the people who don't understand it, and it does mess them up in the long run, they don't properly have a budget plan. They don't, they just think it's cheaper now and they don't think about the future. It hurts them, and it would benefit them if they knew a little bit more. But I don't think it's a direct, malicious business tactic. I don't think they sit in a boardroom and think, a lot of people aren't going to think this way, so let's implement this way, and it'll make us a lot of money. I think they don't think like it that way. It just happened to work out that way because a lot of people are unfortunately uneducated.
Yeah, I mean, like again, and like you said, it's not a bad thing. They're sitting there like somebody needs affordable help, but you also do need to be able to make profit off that. I mean, if you're making the marginal MSRP profit off of something over the course of 3 years, as a business plan, that's stupid because you're probably not actually making money at that point because you're paying more people to fucking take the money and all that kind of shit. So the interest does make sense, but again, it's a shitty loop to get into.
That's why I always wanted to be at the top. I want to be a banker, be a bank CEO, or be, a credit card company CEO. Something. Just to know what it's actually like up there. Be really interesting. What do the billionaires and fucking world leaders that aren't political actually think? How do they conduct business? Do they think as dark as us cynical civilians do, or are they just doing good business and they don't care and the repercussions aren't their fault, or do they not even know that it's a thing? They're just living day to day and they're oblivious.
I think that's what I think mostly it's the oblivious part, because if you look at it in a broad perspective, you're just living your life how you knew to live it and how you were raised and how you learned your work and all that. A lot of them aren't put in the shoes of somebody who is getting fired and is going to be homeless because of the fucking layoffs. They're just doing it. It's like a game to them, right? They're just doing it to keep them afloat and to keep them in the position they're in, a lot of them. Yeah. But they don't actually realize, or they're ignorant to what's happening below them, which is not necessarily their fault or bad thing. It's not a good thing.
I'd be really curious to talk to somebody or be in their head or be in their shoes, because again, do they think it? Do they like, you know what? Or do they rationalize it to themselves? Are they actually oblivious? Are they actually evil? Are we generalizing all rich 1%ers too much? Is it actually pretty diverse up there? I have no idea.
And that's
interesting.
A good point too, right? Because you don't actually know unless you're up there.
No, you don't. We can speculate all day long that Jeff Bezos is this scary, evil, millionaire, sociopath, lizard demon king, but nobody actually knows, right? He could just be a normal dude who happened to get really lucky or is really good at business and, hit a couple things off in the right places, but maybe he's not an evil dude. Or maybe he is, but nobody actually knows. We just have what we hear on social media. We have speculation. We have our own thoughts. We have TV. We have television. We have reality TV. All that. We don't actually know, just like any celebrity. But I'm curious more so about, not the TV personalities or Hollywood celebrities. I mean, like these rich people. Kings, queens, CEOs, billionaires. Absolutely. How do they actually think would be really interesting to know? Not just speculate on or be told what they're probably thinking. It'd be cool to actually know or talk with somebody. But, billionaires isn't going to just, interview anybody. And what probably, again, on any of the big interview shows they do, I don't know, Elon Musk on Joe Rogan's podcast, I guarantee you he was putting on at least some degree of an act. He wasn't being his true natural self.
See, he's fucking, he knows Elon
he's
Musk
being...
doesn't give a fuck.
Well, just an example. And then... playing devil's advocate here, how do you know? You don't know. That's just the character he portrays in his public life.
That's true. You're not wrong about that.
And that's with all celebrities, again, and that's why it'd be really cool to know. And that's my same thoughts on religion is, people can tell you, you can think, you can have faith, but to actually know is something totally different, and that's what I yearn for, that knowledge. Not the thinking, not the speculation. Sure, it's fun to do, but there's no actual truth to any of it. It'd be cool to know.
There's
That's
not
why the only way I can know
that's not wrong.
is to get there. And that's kind of been my mindset for a little bit now, is the reason I want to get there is to know, the pursuit of knowledge, and not the pursuit of business knowledge or trade secrets or political advantage or anything like that. It's the inner human knowledge of how it feels to be at that different, impossibly reached 1%, 0.01% mindset of society and humanity. Like, what does that actually feel like to be there? You can't know that by studying and learning and researching in school. You can't know that just by, talking to someone or hearing or hanging out with somebody in that life. You have to be there to know it. And that's the knowledge
and probably
I'm seeking.
In a longevity way too. Like you have to be there for a while to truly know it too. You know what I mean? Because
it's a totally different world, I can imagine.
Because you could hit that point where you just peak that 0.01% percentile, whatever, marginal, like, rich person, and you're just in the transition phases, because there are still people that are making it there that came from nothing and came from little or less.
Sure.
That are transitioning into that, and they're learning. They still, as you just get in, you're still, I feel like you're still, it's like a new perspective, right? It's new and exciting and bright. You don't actually know, and then when you know, obviously, like.
And is it like growing up? Like, I barely remember what it's like to be a little kid, right? Is it like that kind of change, or you become a billionaire and you barely know what it's like to be a normal person anymore? Like, actually? Or do you, it'd be cool to actually feel it, know it. It's something I want to get to, something I want to be at. Some goals. All purely for the pursuit of morbid curiosity and knowledge.
I just want to meet all these people, like, individually. Like, just meet them. And see how they all act differently, and get to know them, how they all act and how they act and how they are.
Yes, on a person-to-person level, not on an interview on television level. Like, it'd be really interesting. It'd be super interesting. I'd love to talk to anybody like that. And some of them, there's different degrees of them, right? I could be totally wrong, 100% speculation here, but the Jeff Bezos, his family, I don't know anything about him before Amazon. Maybe he was rich, maybe he was a millionaire, maybe he had a lot of money, maybe his parents were wealthy, but they weren't as substantial as he is, or Bill Gates, or Elon Musk, or anybody else who's notably in the top 0.0 millionth percentile. So there's him who've come up in a generation, or there's like the Rothschilds, or any other royalty family like the Queen, who've been at that mindset forever. So they didn't just, were once normal and became at that level, that deity level in society of having that much money and power and status. They were born that way, and their family was born that way, and their kids are going to be born that way. So that in itself is also another totally different mindset. How different is that? How different is the a king of Siberia or some shit who's been born rich and his family's born rich and everything about him is rich, versus somebody who came up, became a millionaire through a generation or through a family business?
I think there'd be a lot of ignorance on both sides.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Because, like you say, we can sit there and we can speculate and say all day, but until you see and live it, you don't know. And I mean, again, we're sitting here trying to speculate what they do. They probably do the exact same fucking thing, especially when they're not come from here. Like, the people that come from here and go up probably have a bit more understanding, but the people who are already at the top or already up there and then get to the top, I definitely think would be ignorant to a lot of things in the middle and lower class,
Yeah, it'd be super cool to get know. There's been some shitty reality TV shows that haven't really hit the point really true on. There's the one show, I don't know what it's called, where the boss or the CEO replaces one of their lowest level employees undercover to see how it is to work. Right, Undercover Boss. They've seen that. There's one where they've tried to live on their lowest level employee's salary for a month. And, like, it's so poorly done. Like, they go into it, they're fully dressed in their great clothes. They're fresh. They're ready. They're just going to walk into somebody's house that somebody who makes $30,000 a year can live in. Like, the TV show set it all up, and the person just needs to live for a month. They don't have to go through the finding it. They don't have to go through the finding the job. They don't have to go through credit checks, any of that. It's way too easy. Like, it's not reality at all. And it's not satisfying. I mean, I'm not a reality TV show fan to begin with, but for that aspect that I wanted to see, that the reality TV show killed it. It's not done at all.
It doesn't show
Well,
the highs and lows either. You still have all your friends and all your
yeah,
hookups and all the people. Anything you need is still there at that perspective.
and it's
Drop
a
all
month.
your contacts for 1 month, and have to go find a place like to live and go grocery shopping on your own, trying to meal plan and
Yeah,
especially on the 30,000 $40,000 salary because that's not a lot of money. It truly
nope.
is not, especially in this day and age.
35 grand's the menial line, the minimum living line for a single adult. Like normal low income. It's not quite poverty, but it's average low income.
Yeah, and like I've lived on both sides of it because I've had a very good job, I've had very bad jobs, and I've lived, I guess, alone for a long time. So I definitely could tell you on both sides of having a lot of money, being in that top 1%, not 0.01 or whatever, but that top 1%. I've been there, and I've been on the other
And you
side of it.
have of
I
your peer
have,
group, absolutely.
yeah, and it does turn into a struggle going living in that poverty line where I didn't care in that top 1%. I spent so much money and I still had so much money, and now even now when I transitioned back into it, I still for the first probably year of my life spent like I still worked in that salary range. Holy
Yeah,
crap, is it hard to try to catch yourself back up when you're lower in the lower class again, and it's really difficult. So to start from nothing and build yourself up, a CEO needs to be able to do that. A rich person needs to be able to do that to actually get a proper
yeah.
perspective.
And it's unportrayable on reality TV show in a month in 30 minutes. Like you can't.
Hmm.
It's not doable. It's not. It doesn't do it justice. The whole idea doesn't do it justice. It
Look at
might
all the
be
highs and
cool as
lows and stuff.
maybe a National Geographic documentary type. If some one CEO decided to give stuff up for like a year or 5 years, and put all their stuff in a trust account, so they get it all back at the end, but they actually have to live on starting from
Hmm.
zero. No friends, no contact, and they did it for more than a month without the TV crew following it around, etc. That'd be a little
Yep.
more interesting. But no, the show never did it justice. It'd be
Or
cool.
David Attenborough. He had a new documentary idea.
Ah, that's our idea. I'd like to keep 10%.
He's lying. He wants 35.
Yeah, see, we hustling. I said 10, he said 35. We'll be fair, and we'll settle on 30.
I was gonna settle on 60.
Oh, I like the way you think, Brandon.
You get it? Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
no,
shoot.
quite the that can get to a little bit of a political perspective, which gets scary, but
As long as we're willing to
economics
open
are
the
a bitch.
dialogue and have the discussion, I'd absolutely love to talk about it. All right, anybody. I always like to talk about it. Love idea exchanges.
Except for
I
random
know what
ideas.
I believe, and I love learning. So
Learning
come
is
at me
good.
with that knowledge. Learning is one of my most favorite things to do.
I love learning too. It's really neat. I mean, in a real world perspective, not in school learning, but actually learning real good life
Yes,
things and learning genuinely interesting facts and learning how to do things. It's great. It's a good time.
it is. Satisfaction.
If you are not somehow learning, you are failing.
Yep,
I think it's true. I think it's a
sure.
in a very
But
broad perspective, it's
yeah,
true.
I was gonna say if you're gonna be that broad, it's really hard to not learn. Like you almost have to actively try to
Hmm.
not learn just by living normal day life. And unfortunately, or ignorantly, a lot of people do choose to
I
not learn.
I could name people by name that are like that.
Choose to not learn? Yeah. Yeah. I could too. I could pick a few out of a hat.
I know people that make minimum wage and live very contently and are doing the same menial job that they've been doing for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean,
that don't care to do anything else and just go home every day. I mean, there's not much learning there, and I think that's failing in life. But that's just me, and that's my perspective. So
sure. I mean, depends on the situation. Anybody could have a random
true.
situation. You don't know. But
That's very true.
on the same token, you don't know. So fucking have your opinion. Fucking I have the same opinion. I mean, you always want to be better in yourself in whatever degree. And if you're not, well, you're also on the outside. What if they're doing something else? You don't know. It's also fair to have your own opinion.
It's also okay to be ignorant to an extent, people. Don't be afraid of being
Absolutely.
ignorant.
We're all humans. We all make mistakes.
To be smart is
I've
to be
made quite
dumb.
a few. Master Oogway. Who's another really, really good, like, fictional, inspirational character?
SpongeBob.
What? He's not inspirational.
What do you mean? He's the most positive person you'll ever meet.
Uh, uh, I'd
Not
argue
on a
there's a lot of
not on a
optimists.
philosophical level. I'm not being
Exactly.
totally serious about that one, but
I can't think of any. Can't think of any off the top of my head.
nothing. Nada.
No. So they
Okay.
finally put all those fires out in BC with these rains that's been happening?
Fuck no.
What? They're just still burning? People just stopped
Fuck
caring?
no.
So they just
Fuck
burn without
no.
the media attention now? No, it's not on the news anymore. It's why I'm asking.
It's not on the news anymore because it's irrelevant to any
That's what I'm saying.
breaking
That's what I just
news.
mean. It's not sensational anymore. It's not.
BC's still burning. I mean, it's not like this year burning is not as bad as it's been. 2017 was the worst year in BC's recorded history of fires, and they burned like what 5 million hectares of land burned, and we're only at what a million, not even 750,000 or something like that. It's all in the southern interior area now. Like we're getting hit really hard with the fires this year, and just a little bit north of us, and of course a little bit of the Okanagan. But I think that's the biggest thing is it's just hitting in a different spot now, because like we have fires you can see coming down. You can see fires if you go for a little drive from up the hill. Like they're we're surrounded by fires. It's just and rain has been helping though. It's been raining for like a week on and off a week straight.
Same here.
So it's been good, and it's been like downpouring all day long one day, and then been mild the next day. So it's been really, really nice.
That was good.
Fires are under control. Our big one right behind, beside Cranbrook is under control from what I understand now, and you can get back into, um, you can get back up into all the evacuated areas. But
Word.
today is sponsored by mayonnaise.
Oh, mayonnaise. Heinz mayonnaise. So, how long do you think it would? How long does it take for mayonnaise to be bad if you leave it out?
Couple days. It's got raw
Like,
egg in it.
I have zero way. This is 100% sealed. I have zero way of telling if this is moldy or smells bad or tastes bad. It's been on my dresser on my counter for a month. Do you think it would do me harm to eat it or just taste bad?
I think it would do you harm to eat it, and I also think people are now judging you for leaving a pack of mayo on.
Well, the reason I left it out was for scientific research. You know, I wanted to know. I did it on purpose. I wanted to know
It's like that
how
guy
it would
that
age,
had
right?
McDonald's for a year and he let it sit for a year on YouTube and it didn't age a day.
Do you remember doing that in like elementary school, middle school? I did it in elementary school. I went to that. It was Tim Roberts, I think. I don't know if you have to cut that out, but we put a cheeseburger and fries in a jar on a windowsill at the beginning of the school year. At the end of the school year, it was just slightly smaller and maybe probably dry, but it looked fine. There was no mold. There was nothing. It was
Preservatives for the win.
pretty cool. And so if you eat enough of that, you're probably good. You're preserving your stomach. There's not going to be any rot. Maybe it'll preserve cancers.
Your fucking stomach will turn into a plastic fucking ball.
Yeah, plastic doesn't get cancer.
You still have your normal cells in your body, my friend. That's probably you're getting caused by that.
No, then if your stomach turns to plastic, then all the cells and all the energy that your body spends on energizing and keeping your stomach alive. Oh, it's like poutine cheese plastic?
It's like preservative-lined fucking stomach.
Okay, then what about, instead of eating it, it's probably too complicated, too many moving parts. What if you just slather it on your skin as like a skincare product for age preserving or getting rid of wrinkles? Not getting rid of, preventing. I don't think I've seen an internet story of anyone trying that.
I don't think it's possible.
You know, that could be the new Subway guy. Dude, that could be, like, Jared from Subway, he ate
child
super
molester?
Small. Yeah, before he was a child molester.
He was always a child molester.
Okay, before he got caught being a child molester and had the reputation of being a child molester, he had the reputation of losing the most weight eating Subway sandwiches. Okay, so he ate like half of a rye bread chicken sub with nothing on it, and then did a bunch of exercise and had people help him lose weight. And then he just said he ate Subway only because technically it was true. But where the fuck was I going with this?
I have no idea.
I was going to say retroactively.
Like preservatives? We're talking about preservatives.
Oh, preservatives, retroactively. So if somebody started at a young age and started rubbing like McDonald's on their face, which has this bad reputation. McDonald's has a great reputation. Some sort of fast food with preservatives. McDonald's is a great example. If you start rubbing it on your face and then 10 years later you still look fantastic, or you didn't age, or you don't have wrinkles, and then you can sell yourself or sell your story to that company that your food is a skin can work as a skincare product. It's actually healthy. It reduces aging. That could be a new tagline that fast food has on their food, and you could sell that.
If anyone tries this, you're a dumbass.
If you rub a burger on your face every day for the next couple of years and you don't receive any wrinkles or aging spots, please contact me and we'll set up some sort of deal.
He's gonna publish you guys. I am just gonna sit there and not feel bad about your cystic acne.
See, I was trying to avoid the word acne because I knew that was gonna happen and I didn't want to even mention it so people wouldn't think about it. Now you're ruining my business plan here, Brandon. See, come on. You're supposed to focus on the positive.
Greasiness over there.
You're supposed to focus on the positive, Brandon. You're supposed to focus on a positive.
I'm not a positive person.
Well, it doesn't matter. Business. Take your emotions out of it. It's all positive. We making money. We trying to sell this rubbing burgers on your face idea to people. It's the most bullshit thing ever, and I'm trying to make money off it. You don't think that's a good idea?
I want to be known as the person that told you all to rub your burgers on your face. That's a great great way to be viewed.
Well, I guarantee you we'd have a section of our viewer base thinking, based.
Well, I mean, we are gods, so that's irrelevant, though. Like,
oh, jeez.
That's irrelevant. It doesn't... We're always based. We always have the fucking followers who just look away and let us do us. You know?
Yeah.
They're not blind by any means.
We don't give a shit. We based. We do what we want. We do what we think. We gangsters.
We're not even that.
No,
let's be honest.
We're pretty far. I'm wearing a Mickey Mouse hat.
I'm pretty white.
I'm very white. Like, I'm not even allowed to tan. I'm that white.
I'm losing my tan now, finally.
Nature don't let me, dude. I've told you this before. I just peel back to whiter than I was before. I'm not allowed to get tan.
You just turn more and more transparent as we go.
It's a curse, dude. I promise. Being white is a curse.
I'm hoping
you comment. I'm hoping you comment on
how fucked up of a comment that was.
I was speaking strictly.
To be ashamed of your own race is like.
Brandon, no, I'm not ashamed of my race. I was speaking strictly in the context of being able to tan and sunburning. Strictly in the context of sunburning, having pale white skin is a curse. Okay, there's some clarification. Okay, it's nothing to do with anything else. It has to do with sunburns, and that's all
See, you're
I was
racist
saying.
about your own race.
I'm not fucking Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks. I'm not. No, it was purely in the context of sunburn and skincare, okay? Nothing else. Don't you dare don't play the race card on me, Brandon. Don't you dare.
You
Don't you
put
dare
the
play
race
the race
card on
card.
yourself.
I did not. I fucking did not. I did not.
Oh my. So every white person that hates themselves because of their skin color, that are probably are in love with you now.
I wonder if we
Accept
should,
it.
inch away from this conversation. I wonder how sensitive it is.
Well, I mean, it's very controversial, but it's fucking hilarious.
I was gonna make Michael Jackson comments like, but then I'm worried if we start talking about it too much.
We don't talk about that God.
Michael Jefferson, right? Michael Jefferson, not Michael Jackson.
Michael Jefferson. What a change. It's like looking around you and fucking trying to create a name off of different brand names, you know.
My name is Boo Duizer. I'm from Italy.
Yeah,
What's another one? I'm from Turkey, and my name is Centrum Multivitamin. That's my name.
Centrex multivitamin sponsor.
I'm from Thailand, and my name is Tidal Pods.
My name is C Sonic.
What?
And I'm British.
See some? What? You didn't even do a British accent. Come on, nothing.
Dude,
British
accents
actually,
are real. That's a conspiracy.
British accent.
Though.
Best British accent.
No,
Let go right now. Do it. British accent.
No,
I'll give you a sentence. I would love to be able to speak with a better British accent than Alan. Go ahead and say that in a British accent.
I can't just fucking speak in accents, man. That's the one thing I can't do.
No accent whatsoever? No. Gangster accent? No cowboy accent? No nothing? Come on.
I am not an accent person. I am whiter than white, so I can't do it.
Oh, I was about to, but again, I caught myself. Wonder how kosher it is to start doing accents, because I'll just start saying stereotypical stuff. The old YouTube clip with the East Indian guy who starts getting mad at his neighbor for kicking his dog. We all learned about that in middle school and high school.
Middle school all the fucking time. We would just start spouting it off to each other.
Kick my dog. Yeah, all day long. All day long. It was great. Good times.
I mean, accents are hilarious and they're funny and everyone does them and they're great and they're the one thing that brings people together. I have no problem with that. I just can't do a fucking accent.
No. I've been trying to do a good dwarvish accent for a while because I always play a dwarf.
Like
a gruff Irish, Scottish, talking about mining and beer and beards and stuff accent, because that's the only character I play in D&D. You ever played D&D?
I have. We've played it. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
Years ago. Remember going to TM's house?
We played. I know playing lots of games at TM's house. Maybe D&D, not vividly remember playing D&D unless we played it poorly.
No, we played it great, except for we went off topic real fast.
Probably why I don't remember.
ADD, man. Group of kids probably with all ADD or something going on over there.
Probably. Fucking every kid to some degree has ADD. Don't get me going. Don't get me going. I'd be very political about ADD, ADHD diagnosis.
I'm trying to make fun of all of us for getting easily distracted at here. Now you're trying to get all political about ADD.
I'm serious. No humor allowed in this podcast. ADHD medicine, please sponsor us.
There's a lot of different medicines for ADHD. All of you should sponsor us.
Yeah, exactly. I was casting a wide net.
A wide net, because there is a lot of different drugs for it, so that's true.
A lot of different drugs for everything, homie. Lots. I
That's
look
true.
over to my counter and I got everything's a drug, everything's a chemical. I got multivitamins, I got sunscreens, I got liquor, I've got all those are medicines. Unfortunately.
Or is it pretty
Would
fortunate?
you ever do the Tide Pod challenge?
No.
No, hear me out. When I say ever, I mean ever. I mean, if I was to continually increase an incentive to do the Tide Pod challenge, would there ever be a theoretical point to where you would do it?
No.
No? You don't have an open mind, Brandon.
No, I'm just not a fucking retard.
$5 million and guaranteed medical care from the best doctors in the world after the fact.
No.
What? That's dumb that you say no.
I'd rather not be on the floor convulsing and being in pain for days in the hospital.
Well, see, you're speculating. I think you're pessimistic. I think if you ate it and you had the thought of, and you have $5 million in your hand and you had the best doctors around in the world, and they just give you enough morphine, you don't give a shit about nothing. I think a few hours of pain.
That's not what a good
definitely
doctor
worth
does.
it. What? What do you mean? If you're gonna die, yeah, absolutely. And if you die in the end, then what's the loss? There's no pain. There's no nothing.
But what? You don't even get the $5 million at that point.
You would have a living will set up to where it would go to wherever you want it to go. But it's also just a chance that you die,
I'm
right?
selfish as fuck. The $5 million
you
has
have
to
the
go to
best
mine.
doctors. You have the best doctors. You're not gonna die, okay? There's the next threshold. You will not die.
If I'm guaranteed to not die, I'd probably do it. But like,
yeah, you just go through a little bit of pain through ingesting acid and soaps.
Why don't
and
you
stuff.
drink bleach?
Well, because then
I'll
you
give you $5 million.
How much bleach?
I don't fucking know. Enough to make it fall on the ground.
Well, come on, you're giving me the challenge. You gotta tell me the amount.
A gallon?
If you're just letting me a gallon, my stomach's not a gallon. Be realistic.
You grab that fucking bleach bottle, the gallon, and you chug it. You're gonna die.
My stomach, yeah, dude. You die before you get the quarter way down, bro. You choke before you get the second sip down, bro. Unless you got someone shoving a funnel down your throat like the Italian mafia do with the concrete.
No,
you ever seen that in movies?
You just get like vanilla extract and you just pour it in and give it some vanilla-y taste so that you don't notice.
You don't notice you're drinking bleach. You're drinking vanilla perfume.
Bleach.
Vanilla perfume. Vanilla perfume.
Basically.
It's not bleach. It's a vanilla perfume.
That seems healthy.
No. We don't condone any of this. Please don't eat Tide Pods or drink bleach. They're bad things to do, and they're probably pretty dangerous. Remember, I'm basically a doctor, Alan Clarkson. Yes. You need to put in parentheses in one of the video descriptions that I'm not basically a doctor, just to totally void me of any legal, obligations.
Do you have a fucking degree or certificate at all?
I do, but not as a doctor.
You're a doctor? Then you're fine.
I said I'm basically, which is, I don't know how much of a lie that is in the law world.
You can say whatever you want, and it should not implicate you at all, unless you're directly telling people to do it. We're just mulling the idea of doing it for $5 million.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not giving nobody $5 million. You're right. Yeah, I'm
not telling anyone to drink bleach, but I think everyone.
Keep going. Go ahead. I'm not gonna cut you off.
I'm trying to make it a little controversial around here again.
Again, we've been kind of tame. I mean, we haven't been too bad. We haven't been too great. We've kind of just been normal.
We just our opinions are opinions, and fuck you if you don't like them.
Man said it. The man said it.
I don't know what else to say. I have an opinion. I have a perspective. If you don't like it, that sucks for you, or don't listen to it. What are you doing?
The inside of my nose is itchy, and I don't want to pick it on stream.
We're not streaming.
Podcast, I'm streaming my video. Shut up. Well, Brandon, we're approaching the 55-minute mark. I'm wondering if you have any closing remarks for this strange episode.
My closing remarks is that you should drink bleach and eat Tide Pods because it's real healthy for you.
Well, actually, he's not wrong.
Your system.
But you have to do it very specifically. You have to drink the bleach, and then within a 5 to 10 minute window, before the bleach gets really ingested or absorbed in a lot of your organs, you need to then ingest the Tide Pod to where it cleans the bleach out properly before it gets too settled in your system. It works exactly like a washer machine. Once you eat it, and then it washes all the bleach out, and then the insides have been cleaned by bleach, so the fresh produced mucus in your body and all your juices will push the Tide Pod out as well. So if you do it in that order, specifically with that time frame, you should be okay.
And you have to wait 5 minutes after you eat Tide Pod, then you got to throw it all out.
Yeah, if it doesn't come out in 5 minutes, yes, you better be throwing up. Start throwing up. It'll burn coming on the way up, but again, it should come out.
Your system.
To where the Tide Pod comes out first, and then the bleach comes out and bleaches all the Tide Pod out of your esophagus. So you should be okay.
That's right.
Again, I can't.
He's basically a doctor.
I'm basically a doctor, and then I gotta realize that again, 10 years from now, if this comes up in a court case one day, we gotta say no, please, don't do this.
We don't actually condone or suggest it. We're just telling you.
We just did directly. Saying it's a good idea is directly condoning it. So it is not a good idea. I'm sorry, Brandon. I can't. I'm scared as fuck. It's some dumbass on the internet's gonna take us for real.
Some dumbass on the internet is gonna take us for real, for one way or another. It's okay. That happens.
Exactly. And now that we've had this little 1 minute outro disclaimer, we're
totally
safe legally.
Total disclaimer. I don't actually want you to do that.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Now we're safe. Now we can get off it. Now
I don't condone you doing it, but if you do it, you're fucking retarded.
It would be, and it'd be pretty funny, and I'd probably laugh before I feel bad because I don't know you, but please don't do it anyways because I'll get in trouble for even making that comment.
I wasn't going to say it, but...
I said it. I've got balls of steel.
We're going to get banned from every fucking platform out there. Holy fuck. Cancel culture's coming our way, baby.
Let's get it. I still think we're playing it pretty light,
Oh, absolutely.
But that is as deep as we're gonna go until we test the feel a little bit. For me, anyways, you can flap your mouth all you like, wiggle your lips, wiggle your chin.
He's just saying that to make himself sound better for the next time.
Yeah, dude, I got a plan. Come on, I'm smart.
Whole plan about being controversial around here.
All right, man. Well, we're reaching an hour. I think we're going to head it off. I'm going to give you my outro. I'm going to say hello. See you later. Thanks, everybody, for listening. If you made it this far, if anybody actually is consciously listening or still awake at this point of the podcast, thank you very much. You're awesome.
Yeah, anybody that is, and if you have a way of tweeting us, commenting us, let us know, because we love you.
And, actually.
I'm serious. Do let us know.
I have a large capacity for love. I'll fit a lot of people in there.
He lives off of the attention of you guys. Those likes give him that serotonin to get to the next day.
So does this.
That was really dark. Bojack.
Bojack. Nope. Save it for next podcast.
We're never gonna remember it, but sure.
All right,
we fought off for hours for that. But yeah, you guys all have a good night. We love you. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever fucking time it is you're listening to us. And he's giving you a big old kiss. I love you all. And he's done. Bye.